look at New Era Field just south of Buffalo, New York. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Buffalo Bills. This is taken at his 4. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. On first down, Armstrong. 4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
I'm going to run you over. I'm going to run you. 56, 56. Check Mike 21. Mike. Hey, dude.
Now Allen. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 10 yards, good enough for a Buffalo first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there was a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, it was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
At the 37-yard line.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Switch it.
They'll run with Hunt on 2nd down. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Mike 37. Let's pick it up. It's out of time, guys. Out of time. Let's get off the field.
Throwing is Allen on 3rd. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. With it is Brown. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Bengals will take over here, 1st and 10.
First and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
Set, ready? 15, line it. 15 line. The run. Kill. 49. Hey, set him up. Let's go.
First carry for Nick Chubb. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first. You know, I have a pretty good friend, Charles Davis, who tells me that when he sees plays like that, strong runs to the right, reminds him of the 1960s Green Bay Packers.
Boy, those were the days back when the fullback actually carried the ball as well as blocked. Then you had a halfback. You had pulling guards, guys who could get out and run. And you can hear the great coach saying it back then. So we get a seal here and a seal here, and we run this play right in the alley.
Hey, lock it. Hey, Delta. Ready?
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Watch the twist. Watch the twist. Blue draw Porkers. Stand. Go. Check nickel. Now.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 10 yards there on a Bengal first.
It's a gain of 10. First down, Cincinnati.
On the ready.
So first and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 42-yard line.
Look at me. Score. Get it.
Now the first carry here for Todd Gurley. And some space to move right away as he's all the way up to the 30. 12 yards that time and a Cincinnati first down. So back-to-back big runs picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
And they didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
Recon, 132 fighter.
Gurley again here on first down. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 12 yards that time and a Cincinnati first down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Hey, team 6. Team 6. Shoot.
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly.
And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind. Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down. From the gun, Stanley. It's complete to Williams. And he'll only get this to the 17, well shy of what he needed. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up fourth down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after sort of a first down.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
Takes this to the 27. Give him 4 yards.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
57. Mike, 57. Hey, echo. Screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen. 57 to Mike. 57 to Mike.
Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. Isaiah McKenzie hauling it in. And he's going to be brought down short of the first at about the 31-yard line. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. The Bills send the punter out as he'll kick it away for the second time. Now Brown. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Bengals drive about to get going. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
Back to the ground. This time it's Chubb. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first.
49, guys. Mike, 49. Let's go, D. Big series right here. We got to step it up.
On 1st and 10, Stanley. Flushed out right. And he fires one that's intercepted. Tre'Davious White with a pick. And he'll return this one just shy of 39.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit. And receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. 11 yards and a Buffalo first down.
And the Bills first down. 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
Mike, alert!
They'll run on first down. It's Armstrong. And the lane closes up quickly as he'll get about 3 down to the 38.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. From the 38, Allen. And this is incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. First down marker at the 31. It's 3rd down. Now Allen. He goes full extension, and he's got it. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 28. Second quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. On first down, it's Armstrong. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. So the shotgun snap to Allen. Throw left side complete. That's Armstrong.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
The Bengals with 2 extra DBs, a nickel look on third.
Blanketing the passing lanes.
Hey, Charlie.
From the gun, it's Allen. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack. Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
A very good starting field position for the Bengals here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And the defense loses him. It's complete. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Nick Chubb, touchdown number 15 of the year. And the Bengals strike quickly here for 6 points. Dustin Hopkins on now to add the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
But one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. To the air, Allen. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. So after the sack, Allen and the Bills with work to do on 3rd and long.
Check, check. Lucky.
On 3rd and long, it's Allen. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
They went with the dive look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. That's pulled in at the 32. So a change of possession here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Bengals drive about to get going. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time. See if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
Looking to throw. Stanley eluding the pressure right. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go. John Ross, the one he was looking for. But it'll be 2nd down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Stanley. Past the 20. He's going to have the hook up to Ross. And all the looking for a Cincinnati score. John Ross, as the first half is winding down. And the Bengals, they widen their lead. Extra point through the snowflakes, up and good. And that makes our score 17-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. One play has them up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
We got three, fellas. We can go.
A final shot before half for Allen. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Not much has changed since we left you at halftime. The snow still continuing to fall as we are back underway.
Come on, baby. Let's go. Ready.
The Bengals drive about to get going. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Another carry now for Gurley. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
6-6, pull it high. Spot. No. You go tight. You got cut.
Trying a little razzle-dazzle on 3rd and short. That one good for 15, and the Bengals get a first down.
A gain of 15. First down, Bengals.
Here we go. 18 Gator. I got it. Hey, Alpha. Fire.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Hard.
They'll try a handoff right with Gurley. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Following the penalty, it's Gurley. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And he's all the way down to the 13-yard line. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
And they're going to go jet sweep here. This is Ross with it. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13.
Protein spill.
2nd and 13. That's going to be caught by Ross for a Bengal touchdown. John Ross, his 2nd touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. Now the Bengals, they widen their lead. Hopkins with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This is taken at his 4. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he stopped immediately there. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
57's the mic. Watch. Hey, I said.
Operating from the gun, Allen. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. Going for it on 4th down, Allen, and it is incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out, and the Bengals are going to get it back in terrific field position. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They run out of the shotgun with Gurley. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Tackle made by the 3rd-round pick out of Louisiana, Tracy Walker. He's got a 1st down and much more inside the 20. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down.
And that was a nice, strong run by the guy they call the field general.
Now it's the backup Mariota. Flush to his right. This one hauled in by Sample. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10. Throwing again on 2nd down. Mariota to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. And Hopkins' kick is good. And the lead increases even further. It's 27-0 now. So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. Good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what I think
that factored in.
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Don't be mad. Don't be mad. There's more coming. There's more where it came from.
2 runs for a net gain of nothing. Now here's 3rd and 10. Back now in Buffalo. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. The Bills on 3rd down. They've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 10. Throwing now is Allen. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 38. And he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
49, you're not ready. You're not ready. 61, matchbox lights. Rock it. Check safety. Watch the ship. Ready.
On 1st down, it's Gurley. He'll get about 4 here, down to the 43-yard line.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
49's the mic. They're not ready for this, man. Greystone travel. They still playing soccer. Y'all playing the wrong football. Look, squeeze. Snap.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. And the Bengals on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. From the gun, Stanley. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And it's knocked away and incomplete. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th.
Hey, box drop. Mike's 50.
On 4th down, Stanley. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Tre'Davious White with a pick. Well, they get a 4th quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Open man, here's Foster. A gain of 6 there on 1st. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just let him bleed the game out that way.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. It's a gain of 13 and a Buffalo 1st down.
Mike 3. Target. 5 wide. 0, Mike 3.
Allen now on 1st down. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
56.
They'll run it now out of the gun. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
They'll keep it on the ground. Armstrong. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. At 5 yards on the play there, as the drive will continue.
Nice job there finding room to maneuver, and he worked his way into another first down. And look, they had great field position to start, but boy, they've done a nice job taking advantage of it.
Now they're just hoping to cap it off. Finally, a first red zone opportunity for these guys. They come up 1st and 10 at the 16. They'll try the left side. It's Armstrong. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 2nd down now. It's Armstrong, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. A great effort there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Bills cut into that lead. Gold able to tack on the extra point, and the lead now down to 20. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he's all the way up across the 40 and down at the 42-yard line. Great return.
Any return that gets you to midfield is a great return. 1 first down, and you're almost in field goal position.
The Bengals drive about to get going, and a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 25 yards the pickup there, and also a first down. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Gurley. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 10 yards there on a Bengal first.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
That one looks like he'll throw here. And he fires one incomplete. He was looking for John Ross that time. And that'll bring up 2nd down. They're still throwing the football here. Now, obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
Yeah, I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. Now on 2nd down, this is Gurley. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave him with a 3rd down and 6 to go.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had the incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. And here come the whistles and a timeout with 7 seconds left. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. this on 1st and goal. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. An 8-yard touchdown run. And the Bengals, they widen their lead. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone can stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Let's go.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals. And it was their defense that really paved the way to this victory as they allowed the one touchdown, and that was all she wrote.
Almost want to do the defense chant right now, right? Defense with a couple of claps in there, but no one wants to hear that from me. Let's just talk about how they got it done, though. When you take care of every aspect of the game, shut down the run, control the airways, right? Make sure the quarterback is harassed. This type of performance you get. They can't fashion together any offense, no consistency, and they just took control.
So for Cincinnati, the streak lives as they move to 13-0 now on the year. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Buffalo, it's unfortunately more of the same as they'll fall to 3-10 on the year. And they'll look to get back on track next week as they travel up to Detroit to take on the Lions.